You may be asking yourself, what am I doing? Why am I pouring this clear and amazing looking water into a bowl? You may also be asking, Michael, why are you not drinking this water, especially in this humid and hot weather in Louisiana? But I ask you, the real question should be, how do you know that you're reaching your potential? Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, did you know that people only use 50% of their capacity? Only 50%. And as leaders, it's our job to get them to the other 50. But how do we do this? How do we not allow people to waste so much potential and throw it away? How do we do that? How do we accomplish our goals? Simply put, you help people work on their character. Literally, it's that simple. You work on their character. And there's two basic points that we look at when we're looking at character. One is your self-image. And the second one is your personality. I can remember back when I was in high school, I was your typical teenager. Confident, really confident. More like arrogant. Yeah, arrogant. And this one day when I was a senior in high school, one of my teachers, he came up to me, and I think that it would be an understatement to say he didn't know me. He was my teacher for the past 4 years. He saw me 5 days a week. And he came up to me, walked up to me, said, Michael, you're an underachiever. And my arrogant self said, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know me. Let's fast forward a decade later. And I learned this great theory and concept called called reflection. And if you've never reflected before, when you do, you will see a difference in your life. And I reflected on that day with my teacher. And what I realized is he wasn't trying to be mean. He wasn't trying to insult me. He was trying to inspire me. He was trying to motivate me. He was trying to motivate a high school senior to become more than what he is. And all because I didn't have a great self-image of myself. Not to be confused with self-esteem. I just didn't have a good self-image. I thought that going with the status quo, doing enough, being average was acceptable. Come to find out, it really isn't. It's not the right thing to do when you're trying to be great, when you're trying to unlock your potential. You just don't realize how much is there until you look at your self-image. The second part of learning your character is your personality. And I think my personality is a laid-back approach. I think I'm very calm and soothing, and I don't have problems expressing myself. And I think a lot of that was based on when I was a police officer in Tallahassee. For those who aren't in law enforcement, one of the things that police officers do, especially after hours, is we work overtime assignments. We go work at local establishments. We work at areas where you make a little bit more money. And on this one particular night, New Year's Eve, and if you've never been out on New Year's Eve after 10, you don't know what you're missing. And trust me, you don't want to learn that either. And on this particular night on New Year's, I was at a place called The Moon, which was a local club, and they hired us to help with the crowd and clear out the parking lot, make sure everybody went home safely. And as the club was clearing out, all I can remember hearing was, pow, pow. I know that's not how a regular gun sounds, but bear with me. Keep in mind, use your imagination and think of that as a high caliber rifle. Pow, pow is what I remember hearing. And what we do as police officers, street officers, whatever you want to call us, we run the danger. So my partners and I run towards the gunfire. Pow, pow. We're running, we're running. We get to the parking lot where we hear it coming from. And there's hundreds of cars, hundreds of people, music blaring everywhere. Pow, pow. I don't know what's going on. Are they shooting at us? Are they shooting at somebody else? Who knows? Pow, pow. And then I see it. I see a lady standing in the car shooting. So I raise my gun and I'm thinking in my head, I hope I don't have to shoot this individual. I hope she's not shooting at somebody else. But then I go back to my laid back approach, my relaxed mindset, my personality that helps me calm down in high stress situations. And my adrenaline lowers. My mind starts to focus. I'm able to take a step back and remember what I'm there for. And I simply give her commands, verbal statements. No cursing, of course. And she listens. And what I learned from that experience, what I reflected on, is my personality involves being laid back, being calm, collective in times of adversity. When we take self-image and our personality and we combine it, that's how we learn who we are. And that's how we affect our organizations. That's how we affect our lives, is understanding who we are as people, understanding our character, understanding our values and our principles. So when you're able to unlock your potential, when you're able to look at your character, you go from a half bottle of water and you increase your potential to 100%, a full bottle of water. And that's when you're going to be the most productive in your organization. So I leave with this question. How do you know that you're reaching your potential? Madam Toastmaster.